Hey everybody, this is Alex Big Blue, and at long last, all number ones is back. So without further ado, let me explain what this is in case you've never seen this before. So on all number ones, I always pick a bunch of first issues of different series, or if it's a one-off sometimes. But yeah, read the first issue of a different series, a bunch of different ones, and I give a quick review to each one of them and to show off what I read. But yeah, I always enjoy doing this, so let's get right into it with the first book. First off, we have a free comic book day book from 2005. It is The Batman Strikes, first issue, In the Clutches of Penguin. You can see there. Yeah, really cool cover on this one. Yeah, basically, this was a pretty quick story. I think it was kind of geared towards like kids as well. Not that you can't enjoy it otherwise, but it wasn't like as quite as violent or graphic in a way as some of the normal ones would be. But I liked this though. I thought it was a fun, decent enough, quick story, and it was actually for a free comic book day book. It had a lot more of a story and more words than usual and stuff. I feel like it was a little longer, so that was kind of cool. I appreciate that. It was like a normal issue essentially. But yeah, I like this one quite a bit, honestly. All right, and next up we have Sentinel Salvage number one. So this one's kind of interesting. I didn't know much about it until I got into it, but this kid is kind of like a nerd, I guess you would say, and he's sort of picked on and different stuff like that. And him and his friends are kind of looking for a way to, stand up for themselves, or else at least get more popular. Kind of whatever they can do, I guess. And yeah, he battles robots, him and his brother, and basically towards the a certain point, they kind of, as you probably figured, they come across a sentinel, like a piece of one or something like that, and it kind of leads off in just like something happening, which I won't say what it is. But yeah, it hasn't really got completely into the story, but it's a good start, I think. I thought it was interesting enough, and I would be somewhat interested to continue if I see the other issues at some point. But yeah, I thought it was decent, and I like the artwork as well. It looks kind of like an anime to me. All right, next up, let's see. Oh yeah, next up we have Weapon X number one. Enter now the Age of Apocalypse. So I finally read this one. I got it a while back in a grab bag a few years ago. And yeah, I really like this one a lot. It's pure '90s goodness as far as that goes. And basically, it's another of the Age of Apocalypse books, as it says. I've read a few of the other ones. I haven't read all of them yet. I've collected a bunch of different starts of these, and also some of the stuff in general in it. Most of which I've liked. I think this one is one of the ones I've liked the most so far that I've read, though. And that's Jean Grey and Wolverine, by the way, as you probably could figure who Wolverine was. But yeah, anyways, that's the way they look in this story. It's kind of like the Age of Apocalypse. In case you don't know, I think is like another reality, or else like a pocket dimension or some sort of thing. I forget exactly, or it may have been something that technically happened for a little bit and it finally got solved. I don't know, but I just know that it's not exactly like the normal canon all the time. Like in the story. But nonetheless, I thought this was a pretty good issue, and I really liked it a lot, actually. And maybe, like I said, might be a favorite one of the Age of Apocalypse so far. All right, and then next up we've got, see if this will sit there. Yeah, it does. X Men: The End, Book One, Dreamers and Demons, number one. So first of all, beautiful cover on this. All of these ones of the end of the X Men series has a bunch of great covers, as I showed off recently in a haul video. But nonetheless, I finally started this one out. This one's kind of like I guess it's like an alternate future, or else maybe a different reality. I'm not sure exactly. But either way, it works out pretty well from an interest standpoint. I like this one quite a bit. I think the setup is interesting. It's just sort of getting into it and didn't go too far, showing a bunch of characters yet or anything. But the character that it does focus on is pretty cool. I forget what her name is off the top of my head because she's like a kind of lesser known one compared to a lot of these other ones. And yeah, one of the familiar X Men shows up at the end. There's some other ones there throughout this story in this first issue as well. And yeah, I like where it's setting up, and I'm excited to read the rest of it. It's a bunch of books, but I'm planning on reading them all and getting to it. And yeah, I like this start of it quite a bit. And last but not least, we have Phantom X Max number one. So I thought this one was really cool. It was an interesting start to it, and I always liked Phantom X a lot as a character ever since I read the Astonishing X Men. I think it was Volume 4, where I really started finding out about his character and liking him quite a bit in that. And otherwise, yeah, I really like him a lot as a character, so I was excited to get this one and finally check it out and read it. I think I read, actually, the first time I'd ever saw him, was in this same series, but a different issue later on. So I'd read that one of the other ones before, but I had never read number one. And yeah, I might go back and try to find out what that one was now and put them together so I can see which ones I'm missing. But yeah, I like this one quite a bit. It was an interesting interlude to the story. It's very violent, as you might expect. But yeah, Phantom X is a very likable character to me, and he is in this one as well. And I forget what her name is, but that the other character right there seems pretty cool so far. And the villains are really crazy in this, and you're kind of looking forward to the showdown. It sets it all up in this one. And yeah, it's just some really fun and interesting character stuff in this as well. I'm Alex Blue. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.